Hello, arcade gamers, and welcome back to Biggie D's Arcade. Tonight we've got my 100th episode of Chillin' Chat. Normally we do it on Sunday evening. We're doing it tonight on Saturday night. It was a scheduling thing with PD7. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to make it, but we got a great guest to come in and be a part of the show. We've got Glen's Retro Show. How's it going tonight, Glen?
I'll try to do my best to fill in for PD7. He's a really good guy. I met you guys back at the, the Cleveland Gaming show.
Yeah.
Two great guys, you and he is. So I'll try and do the best I can, but he's very likable. So I don't know. I'll try.
Yeah, Phil, he started his channel about the time I started mine. We're a lot newer to YouTube than you are. Just started within the last few years, but his channel has skyrocketed. I mean, he's doing a video every day, pretty much, walking talks and just going into stores, showing off different merchandise and nostalgia. And it's really taken off. I was looking forward to getting him on, but unfortunately he wasn't able to make it. But I'm really glad you made it, Glen, because there's a lot I wanted to discuss with you tonight in regards to the FU. And I know that's about to end its Kickstarter and go into production. So there's just a lot of things I want to discuss on that tonight. So it actually worked out. I think it's great that you're here, and I think it's awesome that you accepted and made time available for us tonight.
Well, we all know I'm an internet whore. I'll go on anyone's show. You know me. But I am very honored to be on your 100th episode. I mean, that's a big milestone. People got to realize a lot of work goes into, maybe not my channel, but on most channels, it's a lot of work and prep put into it. So congrats on that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's not always easy. A lot of time you're spending preparing for shows and prepping everything. And, there is some work involved. And I appreciate you, recognizing that and how much work it takes to get to 100. So just looking here at the chat, Sir Sega was the first chat. And unfortunately, it's not showing up here on Restream, but I found it on my phone. It says episode 100 with Glen as a guest is the proper choice. Very good to see Sir Sega.
I got to send him his Vimo. I got to send him his Vimo money.
We got the Be Me. He says, at least we know we will hear Glen at the start of the show, just not his show. I think it's funny because I've watched your shows several weeks in a row, and it's been that way every week. Where the first 5 minutes you're figuring out audio.
I'm over 160 episodes on Kicking It Old School, but I've been doing a live stream. I've been doing this 10 years. Still can't get the audio right. Still cannot get the audio right.
Well, you're doing it too, on your own setup. We're using Restream tonight. It does a lot of work for you. You're doing all your own configurations through OBS.
I am, because again, I'm always about cost, and any cost I have to incur, I got to pass on to other people regardless, right? So I use, to be honest, like Steve, the Tech Buzz, he got me some better cameras. I was using Kinect's 320 black and white cameras, these really crappy cameras. So he got me those, and I've been building up a little bit, but my problem is, so I have a lot of items I got to make work together to keep this thing free, which is what I always try and do.
Right. Yeah, and always keeping the cost down, too. I appreciate that. MSU Rich is here saying, good evening, everyone. Good to see you, MSU Rich. Brooklyn Menace is here. I've got a quick video of Brooklyn from yesterday. We're going to be talking Long Island Gaming Expo.
I missed him.
He was there on Friday, and you went today, right?
I was just telling you, I was actually supposed to have my own booth at the Long Island Gaming Expo, and I must have missed the email. So when I go there today and I walk in, they're all looking at me, Glen, where are you? Where have you been? I'm like, what are you talking about? I bought my ticket. I'm coming in today. We had a booth set up for you upstairs next to Activision. I'm like, you did? I totally didn't know. So I apologize all day up and down to the retro team, because they were walking by.
Miscommunication, or
it was. They were walking by. Glen, why don't you stuff up in your booth? I'm like, what booth? What are you talking about?
I thought it was strange too. You were attending and not showing off anything, because you have so much stuff you can show off, especially with the FU right now.
Yep.
Thought you'd have some information for people at least there.
Yep.
But I guess that was the plan, and you just didn't get the memo.
Didn't get the memo. Yep.
But so Long Island Gaming Expo, that's what we were talking about. If you guys were in the New York area, that's going on this weekend. And Brooklyn Menace was there yesterday. Glen was there today. So we're going to start the show with that. Let's say hi to the rest of the people in here. Sir Sega says, Glen, the FU screen rotation looked great in the video you dropped yesterday. It very much did, and we're going to look at that today. Mickey Yoon says, hey, Biggie D. Hey, Glen. Nice coverage of the Long Island Gaming Expo. I've been checking out Glen's channel today, seeing all the stuff he's been adding to his channel for that. MSU Rich says, congrats on 100. Awesome. Thank you. Kevgret also saying, Biggie, happy 100, buddy. I appreciate it. It's been, a lot to get to 100, but I made it. Brooklyn Menace says, Steven is the master at production. Definitely he is. I've always enjoyed his shows. And I talking about that, I think you're talking about Steven Tech Buzz. I was just thinking about this yesterday, about the show you guys used to do every week. It was on like Thursday nights, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had a few shows. And I've been doing this a long time. We started off originally was just, I think it was just game talk. It was just me and Steven. Then we brought on Cool Toy, and that's what became the Retro Buzz. We did that for a long time. Then we did Game Time. We did that one. And then it started with Kicking Old School. So, I'm probably a good 400 or 500 episodes in, and I still can't get my sound right.
Yeah, I remember your show with Bill and with She Lion. That I used to watch religiously every week. And you guys had a long run there on that show.
It was a good show. Unfortunately, had the whole thing with Arcade One Up during that time frame, and I didn't want to mix up the show, so I stepped away because I really didn't want my issues with Arcade One Up, because that show was obviously a lot of shows about Arcade One Up, behind you, and I didn't want to interfere with that. And I think after that, the show they put some guest hosts on, and it kind of just unfortunately faded away. But Steven's got a new show right now.
Yeah, I've been keeping track of it and watching it every once in a while. It's more about just gaming and not home arcade, more just console gaming.
He's got it right.
But he's getting that started, and I enjoy watching that show, and I can see he's putting a lot of work in it. So hopefully he'll get a lot of success from that. Rexer Show is here. He's saying OBS is great when it works, and
it's not OBS, Rexer. It's me.
And we got Rexer Show right after us tonight. So more home arcade for us to watch tonight. Quarter Deck Arcade saying congratulations on 100. Thank you, Quarter Deck. I really appreciate that. I'll watch his show on Saturday mornings. He's been doing a regular stream every Saturday morning, and I'll catch those. A lot of fun. All right, so let's start with Long Island Gaming Expo. Basically, this is a expo goes on every year around this time, Long Island, New York. And I know you've gone at least the last couple of years because I've watched your streams and your content. You made it this year. And I think the big buzz around Long Island for home arcade this weekend was this Intech Gaming light gun as well as the game light gun. Am I saying it right, the game?
Yeah, you are, as far as I know. I think just light guns in general are making a comeback. It seems like the big companies are realizing that there's it's not even a niche. Light guns are very integral to a lot of games that you can't play anymore. So these two companies that we obviously Sendin's been out for a while, and we have some other retro shooters, lots of other ones out there. But these two bring something new to the table. We'll talk about that. Watch Brooklyn's video. I was talking more technical details with them behind the scenes. But the technology is getting better and better, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah. So this is the Intech Gaming, and I thought I had his video up, but it's not actually a video of him. It's actually just a picture. So we got the game, and we've got the Intech
is one, and then the video he did drop today is the other one, which is the game one. And what's cool about that one, I spent a lot of time talking to their staff. I spent about 3 hours talking to their staff today. I'll have a video I'll drop on it, but it does use artificial intelligence along with a camera. So think the Sendin light gun and this GRS Sendin Target Pro, which you've used, with that camera technology. If there was camera technology, and then with Gen X growing up there, but there's no white border. So that's the cool thing. So your entire screen real estate is available to the game because there's an AI algorithm model that I think they had something. She was saying it was like 250,000 different types of TV sets that they have in this algorithm. And the one, I guess, downside is every time you do use it, you have to calibrate. So anytime you turn this machine on, you have to calibrate it to the TV set. But after that, the artificial intelligence is able to discern where your screen is. And Glen Baisley went with me today, and we were both trying it out. And we mostly played Time Crisis. It does come with the pedal. And it did work. Now, in talking with them, there was a couple little times I noticed there was a little inaccuracy with the gun, but it's not being released yet. It's still on Kickstarter, which I think they just hit $4,000. That's really good.
Yeah.
But they're going to be improving the model.
Okay. So what makes you think that they can get it fixed between now and the release? Like,
again, it was they said they already had firmwares more advanced than what's on the device right now. So I don't think there'll be a problem. Again, in using it, it really wasn't bad. It just a couple of times I just noticed that maybe the algorithm was not really taking the target where I was at. It could have been me as well, but I know Glen and a few other people said the same thing, that it was pretty, maybe 97% accurate, but you want to get it 100% accurate.
Yeah.
You want it to be perfect. But in use, when it was working 97% of the time, it worked extremely well. The gun itself was not heavy, but it also didn't feel like the Big Buck Hunter Arcade 1-Up plastic cheap. You know, it definitely had a solid plastic in there. You had your power button, you had your reload button, the trigger, everything felt really good on it, and it did track well. You could put the crosshairs on the screen or not. The calibration to your TV set takes maybe a minute or two, but they were very clear in saying every time you turn this on, or I'm 5'8" and Glen is like 6 foot. Just handing the gun from me to him, you need to recalibrate. The gun has to be calibrated to the person using it on that TV set. But once you're doing that, as long as
because of your height and things like that.
Correct. And you also want to be a good 6 to 7 feet away from the TV set, or whatever TV set you're using.
Okay.
So you want to make sure of that. I know a lot of people also ask, can you add more games to it? Can it be hacked? First of all, no company's going to ever tell you if their device can be hackable. They're not going to tell you that. Right. But the official word from them is this is a fully licensed product with 4 games on it, and those are the only 4 games that are going to be on it. Now, I think Brooklyn asked this question, and I asked this question as well. One of my favorite games, of course, is House of the Dead. Yeah. Well, are they working with other companies? They were also very clear in stating, yes, there have been a number of other companies, including, I'm not going to lie, I had a conversation with them myself, I'm going to put that out there, about using their technology for other plug-and-plays. You could really think of this as a new version of like the Jack Specific plug-and-plays. So you're going to buy this, you get 1 or 2 guns, you'll get the pedal, 1 or 2 pedals, depending on the game, and the main console in 4 games. Now, the light guns themselves, again, this is what I was told, most of the technology is in the gun, and there's just basically a software algorithm, the AI algorithm, which is being handled by the processor on the machine. So there's no reason why they can't adapt that to x86 for PCs. I did talk about that. Or, of course, the GRS Viper and the Viper Venom and other technologies. They're saying the door's open for that, but at this moment, they're working with Namco. Officially, that's what they're talking to. But they are talking, I'm hoping to God they're talking to Sega and get House of the Dead series for maybe version 2 of this. But nothing felt cheap on it at all. But I will say that the other game from Intermac, the gun definitely felt heavier, but there was a lot more stuff inside packed in that box. And I will say both of them do have rumble.
Let's talk about Intech next, because I want to compare these two. They're very different in that the Intech, this video we're looking at here, this is a wireless light gun. The game's a wired one, right?
Correct. All the other light guns, including the GRS and Target Pro, are all going to be wired. This was wireless, but it's also only designed right now for PS1 and PS2. That is all it's designed for. Now, the other thing that's different is there is no border like the other one. However, this one does require infrared. If you look at the top of the screen, there's a small, maybe 2-inch IR bar right at the top of that screen. So that does require having infrared. And also in using it, in talking to the people there, unfortunately, the people I was talking to didn't seem very technical. They were definitely marketing people who were there, and it couldn't answer a lot of questions. But I did ask them, aside from PS1, PS2, I said, why'd you choose that to start off with? And they said it was simply they felt that was the niche. A lot of PlayStation people don't have a way to play these games. But I asked very specifically, will this work with PC, Dreamcast, other systems? They absolutely said Dreamcast was in the future, Saturn's in the future, and PC. So they will require a dongle, and it is going over wireless. And I will say that It worked. It worked, but I definitely felt a little bit of lag. And anytime you're going wireless over wired, I don't care how good it is, wireless is always going to introduce a little bit of lag. Now, when I say that, let's take it with a grain of salt. A lot of people play with wireless controls all the time, and they don't notice anything, and they play it. People who are pros, people know exactly what to expect, will notice that lag. I'm going to put this in that category. If you don't know how it should have played beforehand, you probably will not notice any lag at all.
Okay.
But if you're someone who plays pinball and you say V-pin, you see the lag, you're going to notice a little bit on these devices. Can they fix it? Maybe a little bit, but wireless will never equal a wired connection. But I can't understate wireless is kind of cool. And having the wires go around, there's a big difference. And the battery in there, according to them, should last about 10 hours. So I get 10 hours of play. And since there is no wire going in the bottom of it, you can hit the bottom, which is kind of cool, to reload. And that was a kind of a nice feature.
Okay. So looking at both light guns, and this is kind of a tough question because they're a little bit different in what they're offering, but if you had to choose one or the other, which one did you like better?
It is a tough call. I'm going to say I'm a bit of a stickler or a jerk, if you want to be, about IR. I don't like having to have an IR bar on a TV set. I want to be able to go up to the TV set and use it. So as far as that goes, I prefer the game version you're seeing right here. However, as of this time, it is really a jack specific box locked into their own little ecosystem unit, as nice as it is. Whereas the Intermac, they were pretty openly saying, yeah, we're going to be making dongles for other systems. So it really depends on what you're looking for. Now, personally, just in using the gun, I found the game one a little bit better responsive. But again, I still give it a 97% as far as how well it was tracking. But there was no lag. I could definitely say that. With the other one, I did notice some lag. Now, as far as which gun felt better in my hands, I think the Intermac may have felt a little bit better. The plastic kind of felt a little bit thicker than the game. It definitely was heavier, but they had an analog joystick on the back. They had a battery in there. So there's more weight just because of those items. So it definitely felt more substantial. And it was very fun playing PS2 games again, or PlayStation games again with a light gun. I haven't been able to do that for a while.
Yeah, they have a pretty good collection of light gun games on those systems. PS1, PS2, I think that was a good one to start with. I like that they're moving to Dreamcast, some other systems in the future. I think that's important that they do that. I do like the wireless technology. It sounds like with the lag, though, that may be a deal killer for me unless they can get that improved. Accuracy and no lag is important to me. Now, comparing these to Sendin, do you think Sendin is still a step above, or do you think these are competing with that?
Well, they're all competing products, and again, maybe I'm a little biased because I have a partnership with Sendin, but I will say that game, and they're kind of very well aware of Sendin, and they spoke very highly of Sendin. But Sendin technology is now a number of years old. So as accurate as it is, you do lose screen real estate when you play it. You can use an inch up to 2 inches, depending on how it's set up. So this is a kind of a compromise between it. It's probably, I would say, the younger brother of a Sendin, because it is using a camera. It is using wires. It has everything else the same, except it does have an AI intelligent model to understand what a TV set is and how to stay inside of that. So that is, I don't know if it's a game changer. It's a game changer. But it is definitely something where I think that the trend is going to go. And also, just putting AI in anything, if I say the GRS Viper with AI, it's a buzzword that blows up.
Yeah.
But I will say that in talking with them, they've had this technology for a number of years, but they didn't have any takers to use it. They were shopping it around for a while, and over the time, they have, I think it was 20,000 monitors or types of situations, light, dark room, all these different situations in the model. Now they're well over 250,000 devices inside this model. So it's learning a lot and getting better. So I did ask them, so what happens in 6 months after you release this? you guys go, wow, this new model is a step above. Is there a way to firmware update it? And they did say yes. So if there is an issue where the model is not great in certain situations, they will be able to update the AI model to improve the gun even better.
Very good. All right. So it looks like there's still improvement, a lot of room for improvement for these guns, but they're well on their way.
Absolutely.
One's a Kickstarter. So the one we're looking at here is a Kickstarter.
Yes.
Which it's been very successful. Like
they have 13 days. There's 13 days left. They have 4,248 backers. And again, it is a fully licensed item from Namco and their games that they have on there.
Yeah, this is great. I'm on the fence still. And I think after hearing what you said, I may be still more on the fence than I was before, just because you said that it still has some work that needs to be done to get it perfect.
Another thing just to remember, Big D, remember, both these devices are not officially released. These are early showings, so we always have to take a little bit of a grain of salt. So whenever you show something that's not production ready, you always have to expect there's going to be things to improve. And that's actually what Game told me when they were there, which this blew my mind. And Glen Baisley was my witness. They said something. I didn't say anything. They said, Glenn, it's important for us to go to these shows to get feedback from the people who would buy this. We want feedback from them to build them a better product. And what have I been saying for years? When she said that, I could have kissed her. She had a wedding ring on, so I didn't. But she had the right thing to say, that they were there at the show to get feedback. So people say things, they're writing it down to go back to their team to make sure that gets addressed. So right there alone, Game is already up here for me as far as they're doing it the right way.
Right. Okay. So that's the game. That's the one that's the Kickstarter. Now this is the Intech light gun. They're calling the Timebreaker. This is not a Kickstarter. This will just become available for purchase at some point soon.
Correct. And I think that I wanted to say I got to look at my video. They told me how long it was going to be. But again, this is only right now for PS1 and PS2 only. That's where this gun will work. It is wireless. It runs off a battery. It'll give you 10 hours of gameplay. It does use a camera, but it also has a required, very small, single IR bar. If you look at that TV set right there, right in the center, there's a little nipple on there. That's the IR. And when I was using it, it seemed like it was tracking well, but I personally noticed a little bit of lag from when I was triggering and doing things. But again, this is a very pre-production unit. And they said those things were going to be addressed. But even if you address it 100%, 2.4 gig wireless is always going to have a small bit of lag and the possibility of interference, if something else is in the house. But when playing it, it felt nice not having a cable dangling down. And it felt solid in the hand. And it's a good light gun as far as I could tell. But again, there's still room for improvement, but they have time.
Okay. Very good. So I'm going to have my eye on both of these. It actually got me back into doing the Sendin light guns. I pulled those out this weekend and played those. I hadn't had those out in a while. So I'm getting back into that light gun, mood where I want to start playing these again more. They also had that talking about House of the Dead. They had the House of the Dead 2 remake that just released this week. It's got some pretty bad reviews. But I just watched some newer reviews that were posted today. Seems like people are liking it, and I may pick that game up. And I'll get it on PC.
Any game House of the Dead, I'm all in for. I love House of the Dead.
Yeah, it's a remake. Basically, it's the exact House of the Dead 2 with just updated graphics and more modern. Right. And it looks really good. But there is some issues with that game too. I guess all light guns are going to have their little issues and things to get it. None of them seem to be perfect.
No, and I do want to say one more thing about the game one that's on Kickstarter. Again, whenever you're giving it to a friend who may be a different size than you always have to recalibrate. But also, if there's lighting changes in the room, they said the same thing, that if there's a substantial lighting, you have to recalibrate. But once you do that, the model should understand the lighting around the TV set. But outside of that, I thought it calibrated quick. You had to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 times. You had to shoot 3 times. So each corner and sides. So it'll go here, 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 here. and then it knows where the screen is. None of that is required, from my understanding, with the Intermac game. It's just basically pointed to the TV set, and you're ready to go.
Okay, interesting to hear all this, because Brooklyn and yourself were like two of the only ones in the community I really saw that has gotten firsthand impression of this so far. So good to hear all that. All right, so we'll spend the rest of the show now getting into what you're an expert in, and that's your new FU Build-A-Cade. And this is a Kickstarter as well. We'll bring up the Kickstarter right now so everyone can see where it's at. I ran this poll just about a few days ago, so it hadn't been long. We had 56 votes, and we're asking the community what product is going to be the best product of 2025. And almost 60%, 57% voted for your product, the GRS Build-A-Cade FU. So I think most of the momentum and interest is behind your product over the other major competitors in the home arcade, which is like the Basic Fun WWF WrestleFest, the Iconic Arcade Street Fighter XXL, and the At Games Legends Pinball 4KP. It seems like you're head and shoulders above all those. Everyone seems to be most interested in what you have to offer. So I thought that was really good data there. Let's now take a look at your Kickstarter and see where that's at today. So this started a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago, I guess it's been now.
A little over a month and a half now. We have 14 days left. Yeah, about a month and a half.
And you're at 465,000. That's over double what your goal was. 245 backers. Have you seen much movement on these numbers since
I have,
the
but
initial?
The wrong
Kickstarter?
way. It was actually 477 at one point. And it actually dropped to 465. Actually, it went down from 470 to 465 today. It looks like two 26-inch mega backers backed out, or maybe changed their mind. They'll come back in. I don't know. But we still have 14 days. I really do believe like the last couple of days before the end of the Kickstarter, that's when we'll probably see people really buying it. And I'm still surprised. There's, I think, still 30 of the 19-inch rotating ones. But I think once you show that video, people see that. That's $9.99 gets you in the door for the machine, and you can always upgrade that to a 26-inch later if you wanted to. The entire thing is interchangeable, but to get what you're getting for $9.99 is a bargain. So I really think those last 30 will probably go, probably in the last maybe day or so before the Kickstarter closes.
That's what I've been hearing with these Kickstarters, is that the last day or two is like the big push.
It's like eBay when people used to, bid on something. Right at the last minute, everyone goes in.
So I would say this is going to do really well here in a couple weeks when it ends. Those last few people that wanted to get it that just weren't ready to make that decision quite yet will probably make it right there at the end, because that is an incredible price, $9.99 for everything you're getting. I can't believe that you're offering that. And
that's I've got some more videos. They sent it to me on literally Thursday night. So I posted a quick video about the rotation. I have more videos to show. I think once people see more of the videos, that'll help as well. I was really hoping to have the FU here to bring to the Long Island Gaming Show. I was going to sit with the Old School Game and Magazine people, because again, I didn't know I had a booth myself because I'm an idiot. But I was hoping to get it here, but they said it was going to cost a lot of money. We're talking like $1,000 to get it in time for the show. So I said, we don't have that kind of money to blow on this. Just send me some videos, and when we can get it here at a reasonable price, like $350 is what we're charging people for shipping. And there's a screen going right now. I'd rather do that. I don't want to spend money like that unnecessarily. We could show it in videos. But this really does show well one of the key features about 19-inch, that when you go from a horizontal game, we're playing Robotron, and just picking Galaxian, it knows, and the screen just rotates.
It knows the game.
That's it. So there's two things we're going to do. Excuse me. We're going to have basically a file in the machine, and games that I kind of know off the top of my head will have horizontal and vertical. But you will be able to, before you launch the game, you can hit a key and add it. You want to say this game is horizontal or vertical, and then it will know in the future. But if you don't want to do that, there is the button right on the machine. Just press a button, just like the gate switchers. and you can change from horizontal to vertical. So you can always do it manually. But if you know a game like Pac-Man's vertical, just say, okay, before you launch Pac-Man, I'm telling the FU's Viper to put in the file that this is a vertical game. So the next time you go back to it, it'll know, and it will just do that.
Okay, that's cool. That's new. I didn't know that. So this is the dimensions here. This is considered a full-size arcade, 68 inches tall, almost 24 inches deep, 24 inches width. It does say, please note the final dimensions may be subject to change. Do you anticipate any changes to this?
Well, slightly ones. Again, I want this thing to be basically the Sherman tank or Tiger tank, whatever you take your pick, of these machines. Really want this thing you could put it in a real arcade. So my team, they originally were doing, it was 15 inches on all the outsides. It was going to be 12 inch or 12 millimeter for the inside wood. I think we're pretty much going now all with the larger. We want this thing to be super, super solid. And we're making some small tweaks. Again, with the monitor rotation, we found ways that were more stable and smoother, so we changed that. But I don't think the outside dimensions. I think that's pretty close to what it's going to be on the outside. We still owe dimensions to like Joe Sabo's and Arcade Graphics and all those Escape Pod for all the dimensions on that. But we want to make sure this is finalized to the production level, and then we'll get that information out to them. But I would say right now I'm fairly confident this will be very close to these dimensions.
Okay. So minor changes, but overall it's going to be pretty much what we're seeing there.
Yes.
GRS Ultimate Control Panel. Now I can speak on this because I have this control panel in my iArcade, and I love it. I love the 4-way, 8-way gate switchers. I think the buttons are quality. The spinners are. Trackball is good. I like the volcano buttons, look really good on it. And I do like the USB inputs on the front for the Sendin light gun to just be able to plug it right in on the front. So essentially, this is the same Ultimate control panel I have in my iArcade, just a little bigger game deck.
Correct. It's actually very, 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 very close to it. One thing that'll be a little bit different on all of our decks, we want to try. Again, these will be interchangeable, right? Very easy to pull. You're going to pull up, pull out with one cable, and put a cable in and drop it in. So similar to what Arcade 1-Up had done with their decks, had that plastic underneath it to protect all the stuff on there. We're going to do that as well. So it's going to look nice and neat. And I've talked about it once before, and I'll talk about it on your show real quick. My ultimate goal is we have obviously the 1/6 scale Build-A-Cade, and we have the full size. I do want to make a portable unit where you can take these decks, just drop it in, bring it to your friend's house, and you can play games that way. So there's gonna be more things still coming out. So people saying, Glenn, you're gonna make more decks? Yes, more decks will come out because it's gonna work in more than just the full size FU. We do want to make other things as well. Okay.
Now the advertisement I saw is the 4-way, 8-way automatic restrictor gates. That is a huge feature, I think, if you have a multi-cade, you're going to have different games that use different joysticks. So I think that's huge. And then the swappable design is really big too. Kind of go through the different game decks here. You got the flight stick, you got the Akari Warriors, you got a steering wheel coming. What else?
We have a 3-inch trackball deck. So if people want to play Golden Tee or Missile Command or something along those lines, you want that larger trackball. It's the same trackball that we designed for the New Wave Toys, Golden Tee and Crystal Castles. It's a much larger trackball. And of course, it's this GRS Star Wars flight yoke as well. These are what I'm calling the launcher. Now, the steering wheel one, we have 2 steering wheels on there. And I kept telling my team that they figured you use the 2 buttons next to the steering wheel for your gas, whatever, brake. I'm like, hey, we gotta have pedals. So we're trying to do it at no cost. We're trying to make metal, gas, brake, possibly a clutch. Don't hold me on the clutch one, but definitely gas and brake for both players. That'll plug into the USB. So I'm hoping to add that as an update and I guess an extra bonus for people who did back and get that deck.
Okay. So if you end up and you're able to make that happen, that's just going to be thrown in. It's going to be part of the dual wheel deck purchase.
Right. I did say in the update, I'm going to do my best. If it costs a couple dollars, I'll make sure I let you guys know if it's $5, $10, $15, whatever it is. But if you look at all the decks there, you can see they're enclosed. There's plastic enclosing, keeping all the wires in there. So the only thing that'll be coming out will be a USB-A And if something requires power, there'll be a power jack. So on the FU unit, they'll be right in the back. And I could have went with pogo pins, in which case it would just be slide and drop and pull it out. But I want this to be something that anyone can make their own deck, whether it be you, Michael B. the Game Genie, or P-Dubs, or another company. I want it to just get a USB-A connector and jack it in, or 12-volt barrel jack and plug it in, and they can get it into the system. I didn't want it to make it so custom where it would cost them more money. The big whole thing about the FU is funds. I'm trying to think what I could use funds under amount, funds low. I just really do believe in actually. I was talking to the people at today with the light guns. You know, my goal is the highest quality at the lowest price, because I really do believe, what's the point of making a machine people can't afford? And that also made me fall in love more with the game company, because they're doing the same thing. They want to make a gun that's quality, that people can put the input in, but make it inexpensive to buy. You have to be able to afford it, to play it.
Now, you were saying these game decks can be taken elsewhere and played pretty much anywhere. You plug it into a PC, it'll recognize it?
To be quite honest, yes. So if you want to take the Star Wars Flight Cook deck, put it on your table and plug it into a PC, or the Akari, or the trackball, it's going to be a USB-A. So you absolutely can use these on something else, absolutely. Or you can buy yourself a secondary Viper or Viper Venom, connect it, and play online with your main FU, because they have online gameplay. Yes, the whole point of this thing is I have my ideas in my head, but there's so many people with other great ideas. I want to see what other people do with this, because look what people have done with at games, like the Buy Stuff store, or stuff that the arcade done-up people have done. Yes, I said done up. There's been lots of mods. I mean, there's the arcade one-up modding group. There's 44,000 people in there doing some amazing modifications on those machines. And I want this to be like a base unit and see what people can do with it from there.
Okay, cool. And then now on the storage compartment, we're looking at that image here that you advertise, and this is great for those decks. You can just slide them in there out of sight. You don't have to see them until you're ready to use them. That's great, and it protects them and keeps the dust off of them in there. And how many can you fit in that storage compartment?
I'm going to say it depends on the deck, but I would say 3 would probably fit in there comfortably, because like the steering wheels, I would say if you take the steering wheels off, it's just a steering wheel with one hex nut. If you take the steering wheels, you may get 4 in there, because steering wheels are just huge, right? And then the flight yoke, or the flight stick, as I say, it's tall, that takes up space. So I would say 3 decks will probably fit in there. But also on the back of the FU, there's another storage compartment back there, and that's really designed for putting a PC or hiding your mistress back there when your wife comes home. Whatever you want to do, there's space in the back of the FU. That you could do that. But of course, that could be convenient if it's right up against the wall. You won't be able to get to that one easy. And then, of course, we have the keyboard drawer here as well. Great.
And yeah, the keyboard's good. Like if you're putting a PC in it, you could just or you can put whatever you want in there.
Well, even with the Viper Venom in there, Doom. You can use it with the keyboard and mouse. You have Doom 3, Heretic, all those type of games, PC games. You might want to have a keyboard available, and you can plug it in there.
Okay, very cool. And then advertising a commercial coin door. So this is like the real thing, like.
Yeah, it's not a flimsy thing. It's a real coin door. You can see on the front there, those 2 locks. Those are arcade quality locks that are used in arcade machines. We have a bucket inside there to catch your coins. Of course, you can use the volcano buttons to put coins in, but you might want to get quarters, or just to have that. Or if you have Chuck E. Cheese tokens left over from Chuck E. Cheese, drop them in and put your credits in that way. Just again, it's to give people the option. You don't have to use it, but I think having a fake coin door on something like this is just bad taste, in my opinion. I want a real working coin door with real coins.
Yeah, so you're putting the coins in right now, and this will actually credit the game?
That is correct.
Oh, that's amazing. And under $1,000, you're getting that. That's incredible.
Yep, you're getting that there, the 19-inch screen, 60 right here's a little bucket. You can take it, pick it right out, take your coins back. But it will initiate the credits. And this deck has gotten a little scratched because this is our machine that we do our beating on.
And I wanted to mention that too, is this video was taken in January.
Yes.
Back in CES. So this was like your first prototype, wasn't it?
Correct. Actually, this was the first revision to the prototype. The first prototype, our dimensions were way, I don't know what we did. The dimensions on the marquee and everything was just way, way off.
Mm-hmm.
But this here is that same unit, but we are going to get our the newest one, which I'm going to say is pretty much our production unit. So that's the one I'll have shipped to the States, and I'll have over here to show that one off. But you can see right here, after Robotron plays, which is, again, horizontal using 2 joysticks, we exit the game right now. And you can pick your game. Again, you have all different systems in here. We're going to go into MAME. And one of my favorite games is Galaxian, because people like Galaga, but I prefer Galaxian. And there goes the screen. It just rotated right there. Boom. And, you didn't see anything other than the screen turn, and now it's vertical. So, again, if you have the Unicode 26-inch version, you'll pretty much have this 19-inch vertical in the horizontal machine, right? The 26-inch. Now you can take off the plexi. You can pull out that 26-inch. You can turn it and drop it back in. 100% you can. The machine will still know. There'll be a micro switch telling it you moved it. But I just think that's so slick with the 19-inch. It just, you don't have to do anything. It just does it.
I'm big on the 19-inch too. You save a little bit of money. I think it looks good. These arcades back in the day were 19-inch screens, or maybe smaller. The 26 is great too, though. Now, let's say I bought the 19 and I wanted to do 26 later. Is that going to be a possibility?
Yes. Yep. Okay. Once the Kickstarter is done, a lot of the and we start building the machines on our site, Thunder6Studios.com. We will have a GRS Build-A-Cade FU store. And you can, if you bought the 26-inch and you want to find out about the 19-inch, you could buy that 19-inch. It just drops in. The Viper Venom will know. You just drop that in, and it'll take that, and vice versa. If you have the 19-inch and you really want to have I'm going to call it the Michael B edition, because he's the one who really pushed that 26-inch Unico. Just pull out your 19-inch. You take off a couple of the power cable and the interface cable, and then HDMI power, and you drop in that 26-inch. That's it. So
that's nice.
You could do that. And like even we see at the top where the marquee, which says Build-A-Cade FU, people ask me, is that what's going to be there? Yes, that's the marquee. It is backlit. But if you want to get the Al Link Pixelcade, all you do is there's 2 screws up top, take off the wood, slide that out, slide into Pixelcade. The cables are right there to interface it. Just connect them. Tell the Viper it's there. Done.
So when you're talking about the marquee that changes the bit LCD or LED.
That is correct.
Now those are going to just drop in, like the standard one.
Al Link custom designed ones for us.
Okay.
So it will literally you take out the Build-A-Cade FU. I don't know why you want. That's a beautiful logo myself, but you take out.
I wanted to know too. Where did you get the inspiration for that logo and like the jet? Is that a jet or is that a moon?
Gary Campbell, who's been working with us for a long time, he's from Arcade Workshop, and he was the person who I worked with on the original Build-A-Cade when I was wanted a little Donkey Kong. So I asked him, I said, listen, he did the Viper logo, he did all the, I asked him, I need to come up with something, and he did that. I'm like, I like it. So it's a little jet and a Viper and the Build-A-Cade and FU for you, right there, boom.
Yeah, I think it looks good.
It does, but like I said, we designed this for like Al Link. You can always take that out, drop in his LCD, and then as you pick the game, or do you want to know the temperature outside? I want stock quotes, so he does all that. And now he added, again, we use real arcade T-molding. You could take that out, and they make LED T-molding. And now when you're like, if you saw Al Link's video, you could play like Galaga, and as you shoot, your T-molding will show lasers like you're shooting on the side, or it'll change blue to blue on the screen. So you can add all these awesome things to your FU.
Awesome. Now the marquee, also I was thinking Joe Zabo. He'll probably do some static marquees that are semi-translucent that will work in here as well, I imagine. And then if you're modding
great to work with. He's been really great to work with.
Like if you're modding it with a certain skin, you may just want to go with like a standard marquee.
Absolutely. So, again, people may just want a Donkey Kong cabinet or a Popeye cabinet, and they want it just to be that. So, sure, Joe would, or anyone can make, even Angel. Angel's a good friend of mine. He does beautiful work with that as well. He did a lot of those light-up marquees for the arcade done-ups machines, and he could do it for here as well. And just drop it in, and it's backlit.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be great whenever this drops. Now, the Glintendo add-on, this is basically just giving it the form factor of the DK cab.
Correct. All the Nintendo cabinets. In fact, I totally had forgotten which one was it when I was at Long Island Gaming Expo. I was like, oh, that's right. What was that shooting game? Not Hogan's Alley. It was another one. What's that old NES game? It was a
Duck
lighting
Hunt?
game. No, it wasn't Duck Hunt. It was like Hogan's Alley, but it was with the guys shooting like Mexico. I can't think of the stupid name of that
Oh,
game.
yeah. I know what you're talking about. But
Wild Gunman.
Okay.
So I'd forgotten that this was also a Wild Gunman cabinet. You have Mario Brothers, you have Donkey Kong 3, Radar Scope, Popeye, Punch Out. A lot of machines used, and Play Choice 10 use this style.
Okay.
And you just add this hood, and you have that style of a cabinet.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then now, if you put the artwork over that to kind of cover that line there, are you going to see that when you put something over it?
We are making that a very, very tight tolerance. If it's regular vinyl, like a very thin vinyl, you might. So it will depend on the vinyl used, or if you're going with something. I'm not sure if Joe's going to do acrylic and something that big, but there are thicker vinyls that do cover up things like that. That would definitely cover it. But a thin, very thin, and cheap. I won't say inexpensive, cheap vinyl, you might see it. But let's say if you really want to keep it that way, and you put an artwork on there, a little wood putty, a little sanding, and you don't have that at all, and you just put the artwork over that, you would never see it.
Yeah, make it like a permanent,
Pretty much once you put artwork on there, it's going to be permanently on anyway. So the plexiglass can come off on the front, but once you put that Glintendo hood on and any artwork, you're pretty much never going to take those sides off anyway.
Right. Got it. So that's the Glintendo add-on. Now, talking about we're talking about the outside, but on the inside, the GRS Viper Venom board. This is new, right? Like you've released the Viper, but never the Viper Venom.
Correct. The original Viper is our in-house cooked. We designed that ourselves for the Build-A-Cade because at the time, actually, the Raspberry Pis was during COVID, right? So it was very hard to get them. So that's an RK3566. It's between a Raspberry Pi 3 and a 4 as far as performance with the processor. But we have a better GPU. So if something is using the GPU, we do a little bit better on it. But we always knew we wanted to have something better. And that's where the second generation comes in. That's the Viper Venom, which is an RK3588. And you can look that up yourself. The
That sounds familiar. Is that the AT games?
It's above the AT games. So I think they were looking at making it come out. I think there was like an offer. They never came out with it. But the 3588 is superior to a Raspberry Pi 5. And processing power, GPU power, memory speed, drive, SD, everything about the 3588 is superior to a Pi 5. So if you're like blown away by Pi 5's performance, now keep in mind the 3588 is already like 5 years old, and it's still more powerful than a Pi 5.
Wow.
So the cost has come down to the point where we can do that ourselves, and we magically have it the same size as a Pi like 4. So it's even smaller than my Venom to boot. So it will fit in the regular Build-A-Cade. It'll fit in our products we're coming out with in the future. I can't go into too much right now, but obviously that's what's going to come in the FU. But you could always, if you really say, listen, I don't want the Viper Venom, I want blah, 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 we can put it in here because it's HDMI and our audio has got a phono jack connector in it. And the people ask me about the audio. It's basically the same exact audio technology that the IR Arcade had, except they were 50 watts per channel with just 25 watts per channel.
Okay. Now, these boards, are they going to come like blank where we have to install our own software and games and all that, or is it going to come already pre-built with like an image on it already?
Well, the Viper and the Viper Venom will come preloaded with the core version of Arcade OS. So when you first turn it on, it does boot up to the screen, and you have a music player, you have a video player, and a couple of the small things built in. Once you get it, you do have to, like, anyway, if Nintendo can do it, GRS can do it too. Even though I don't like how Nintendo does it. There is a license agreement. You have to accept the license agreement and the terms. When you do that, it'll then download the cores. And the cores are all the different emulators in the system that we support, hundreds of different emulator cores that we support. that'll put them on there. And there's some demo games that'll come on. Of course, I have the license for The Adventures of Robbie Roto, the best game on the planet to this day. But I'm also talking to a few of the people getting some other games that I think will be very exciting to have on the FU. So I'm still working on that. But then we do have what's called the game downloader built in. So once you put those in, if you have your own ROMs, if you have your own Atari ROMs or Nintendo ROMs or whatever ROMs you have, you can load them on an SD card or copy them over your network. There's actually a built-in file explorer. If you have somewhere on your network, you can go to there and run the game off your network. Or you can stream Steam through Moonlight. But we do have a game downloader. So you can go into, say, the Atari 2600. And if you have Pac-Man and E.T. and you own them, you have to say, yeah, I own these games. And you can pick from over 1,000 Atari games. Now, of course, you have to accept the agreement saying you are entitled to it. It's your conscience doing that.
You're not checking anything. You're just leaving it on us to give you
your own conscience.
Okay.
You know, and it is. And GRS, T-Sticks, and Arcade do not host these ROMs. They are downloaded from the internet. But we don't host any of them. We have no association to them. But we have a bunch of different systems on there. Now, there may be a system on there like 3DO. It definitely plays 3DO games, but we don't have an automatic download for that. You have to get them on your own and put them on. Now, with that also being said, everyone knows Bobby Vu, clean like a mother.
Yeah.
He has made some images. He has a 1.5 terabyte, and I have a 2 terabyte hard drive that he did all these games on. So, again, that's another thing that people will start doing. I can't tell you where to get those, but I'm sure the community will get word out of where you can get these packs, and then you just image it. Now, the Viper Venom, you can load it on an SD card. You can load up to 64 gigabytes on the Venom, 32 on the Viper, on internal storage. You can use a micro SD card slot as big as you want, or like I said, you can put a large hard drive on it over USB.
Is the micro SD, is that on the board, or is there a slot on the front? There was a slot
on the Viper Venom itself.
Okay, so you have to open up the machine to get in.
You do. You know, that's not very expensive. I'm still going back and forth using an extender, but sometimes you don't get a good one that could be interference, then you have loading errors, and it's the thin cable that they use. So I almost don't want to do that. But if you do have, let's say, a NAS at home or a PC that's got all your games on it, you can map the Viper to that network drive and load it there. But there'll be nothing on the machine at all, just you're pulling it from your own network.
Okay, got it. And then is there going to be like an instruction manual that comes with it that kind of goes over this stuff, like as far as loading games, things like that, or do you have to go online to find that?
We'll definitely have a manual in there, but most likely what we'll be doing lately is we'll do a manual with some QR codes. So you open the manual for the general information. You want to get detailed into it, take your phone, scan the QR code to take you to a video or location. I've partnered many times in the past. I know Wagner's Tech Talk has told me specifically, and he's been working with Arcade OS behind the scenes as well, because he does great instructional videos. I mean, he does fantastic videos. So he most likely will be the person if you really want to know how to do things. Like right now on the regular Viper, how to load games, he's got a video on that already. Okay. So Wagner will probably be our go-to for instructional videos. Aside from other people, I'm sure will make them as well.
Very good. Now, this is the timeline. Looking back at the start of it was in June. So a couple months ago, we started this Kickstarter. We're now in August, so we're at the campaign end pretty much. Just 14 days left in that. And then production's going to start pretty much immediately?
Yeah. Once we close the Kickstarter down, that means that the people their credit cards will be charged at that point. We'll have the funds. We will start getting all the things we need to begin production. We have production lines now. We just finished production, and it's already shipping now. It's in the States and shipping for the KVM and Ultimate Control Panel for people who bought the very third and last iArcade control deck and KVM. So we have our production line there already. We just like a car production line, you got to train them on how to do this. We got to build, we got to test, make sure everything's good, and then we have to flat pack. And it's probably going to come in at least, if you get just the $9.99, it's probably going to be 4 flat pack boxes. But I have to go like the Ultimate with all the different decks and everything. It could be like 8 or 9 boxes come to your house. Make sure your wife is out that day. Send it to the movies for a couple of hours.
So it's going to come in these smaller packages, a bunch of boxes,
Right.
and then your shipping. I saw a comment from Papa Brad about $350. Is that like what we're looking at?
That's for if you're going for the $999 base unit. Again, remember this machine's over 200 pounds, and it's large. It's not a quarter scale. This is a full size machine. So $350 is a phenomenal price for that. It could be more. It's $500 for the 26-inch, and I think the Glintendo hood. So depending on what you're getting, the shipping charge, unfortunately, are going to be more. It's just how it is. This is not.
It's based on where you're located too, or is it just
not
flat?
so much? It's really based on the size of the unit itself. That's really what it's based on, the weight and how many boxes it's going to be coming in. It's not a New Wave Toys. It's not a numbskull. It is literally shipping that Zaxxon back there, which that's 265 pounds. If you go to an auction and you buy a full size arcade, you're going to be paying $300 to $500 or more $100 to get it shipped. So it's just the way it is. It's not something that's small. It's big, but once you have it, it's good.
And when is that going to be due? Is that going to be due like in January or February? Do we know yet?
That I don't. I'll come back to you. I'll give you more information on that. Big D,
Okay.
I don't know when that's going to be done.
Okay. And then we're looking at this timeline. 2026 January will be like freight in, delivery February, March. Are there going to be prototypes like where people can get firsthand experience with these like in person or something at like an event before February, March next year?
I was really trying to, this weekend is the Long Island Gaming Expo, and I really pressured my team to get me our pre-production prototype. I said, I really need to get that machine here. I want to show this off. What I didn't realize I had a booth, I was going to stay with the Old School Gamer Magazine crew and the game Light Gun group over there. And but to get it shipped like quick enough to get it here, it was $1,000 in shipping. And I'm like, you know what, we're making like nothing already on the machine. I can't go more in debt for the show. So I'm hoping the next show coming up will be the Hartford gaming. It's actually the Retro Gaming Expo in Hartford, Connecticut, which I think is in September. We could hopefully make that one. But as far as that, once I get the machine here, Bill from Bill's Retro Gaming Show lives about 20 minutes away, and of course Glen Baisley is here as well. And it's for the YouTubers, I know they're not too far. They're more than welcome to come over to the house, and I'll leave. They could do whatever they want. They can call me for questions, but I'll leave the room. They can just do whatever they want, and do an honest review and post it.
All right, great. I'm looking forward to that. I know Bill was on a couple weeks ago, and he was really anticipating that opportunity to come see it in person and make some content about it. So looking forward to that coverage. Just a couple of subjects, because we're going to get to a giveaway here in just a moment.
I see the Rexer is getting very impatient.
Yeah, he's got a show right after us, so he wants to get this going. But I did want to ask you a couple of things that are going on in the community that are outside of what you're offering in FU. And that's going to be first the Street Fighter XXL by Iconic Arcade. They're dealing with some issues, I think you are, with like getting this off of the production line and shipped out, and deadlines and all that, dealing with that. Basically, they said this week that they're still on track for a Q4 release, but it seems like they're still in the planning phase where they don't yet know what artwork they're going to go with. I guess my first question is, do you think they can still make a Q4 deadline when they still haven't decided on artwork? And then overall, what's your impression of this and what's going on with the XXL Iconic Arcade? Well,
I think with them, as everyone, including myself, because we would be actually shipping our machine in September. We wanted to start a Kickstarter much earlier, but obviously everything happened with the tariffs. So I know that threw a big wrench into everyone's thing. Now, as far as artwork goes, I mean, it doesn't take very long once you pick artwork to have it done and put on. It doesn't take a lot of time. Unless I'm mistaken, again, I don't know for 100%, so don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure they're using similar organizations to what Arcade 1-Up was using as far as their production lines. So they can turn it out fairly quickly. I can't answer more than that. Is it possible? If he says so, I guess it's possible. I don't see a reason why they couldn't. I assume he's already got machines probably built because they were going to ship sooner. Again, the tariffs would slow them down. That I can't really say for sure. Hopefully, John D. and his crew would be able to hopefully respond. I know he says that's the plan. So that's open-ended. Whenever it says that's the plan, it's the plan. Plans can change.
Yeah, and then Bill, he also chimed in. He said if all goes planned, people will have these by the end of the year. So I hope so. It's been almost a year. Would it be a year if they ship by the end of the year since people, pre-ordered. So hopefully they get them out.
Real quick. I saw Mikey Yoons in the chat. Mike, I sent you an IM on Facebook. Go take a look when you can. And it's okay. The community will buy and do it and use what they want. John D has to put food on the table for himself and his family just as well. So I wish him the best of luck with his machine. I'm not gonna lie, I think mine's better. That's just me. Doesn't mean his is not gonna be something people like. So this is a new improved Glen.
They're very different products and what they're offering too. They're both arcades, but very different in how they are.
I wish him the best.
So this is the basic fun news we got last week as well. And I just kind of want to get your idea of like what you think of these titles they're coming out with. It looks like they're going to have Asteroids, Tempest, Centipede, and WWE WrestleFest by Christmas 2025. Also probably a Star Wars, which would be like that arcade 1-up Star Wars. And then maybe some XLs.
Well, I'm trying to figure out what the important differences will be with the yoke. They quoted that. What's that going to be? I can tell you they're not talking with me. It's not mine. So I'm not sure what they're doing with that.
Okay. So Asteroids, Tempest, Centipede, these are games you really like that you've grown up playing, and you're going to be a tough customer because you're going to want the best controls and you're going to want it to play perfect. And I'm imagining these are going to be a lot like the arcade 1-up cabinets where they're going to need to be upgraded, to get quality controls. I don't think these are coming out of the box with anything significant.
Well, I will say that arcade 1-up, and it does burn my throat to say it that way. They did improve with Tempest, in their legacy Tempest, the spin controller that they used. That was much better than the initial one, which was a clicky click. So my guess is they'll probably stick with that. Again, basic fun. I like the company. I've liked their small, tiny little $19 machines. I thought for what they were great. But remember, that's what basic is. Basic fun. You are going to get a basic unit. Not to say that it's bad, but you have to put in your mindset that's what you're going to get. Now, I've seen the prices of them. I think they might be overpriced, but it doesn't mean that they're going to be bad. I kind of like that cocktail table Tempest that they showed, and it's probably going to be that type of spinner. As long as you don't F up and put that old rotary click in there, I think they'll do okay. We'll see.
Yeah, I think they'll do all right. I think people are antsy to get some new cabinets, and Arcade 1-up hadn't been putting out anything new. So if they bring us anything new, I think it's going to be a hit. People are going to be after those and wanting to get them. Now, the last bit of news here before we do our giveaway is this Arcade 1-up pinball news. Mystery Encoder is basically taking on a initiative to mod these and make it easy for everyone to do that.
Yes,
basically letting everyone know what we got to get and answering everybody's questions. It's pretty similar to like the one we did with the iArcade, where you just put like a chip on top of the board, and then you can pretty much mod it and sideload games onto it. What do you think about this pinball mod that they're doing?
Well, I have actually been talking to him a little bit about it. He's very proud of this thing. He's trying to make it as easy as possible for people to play more. So I think it's great. I think that, especially if people have these pinball machines, I think it's going to be a no-brainer to get this. I mean, he does good stuff. He brought a lot of life back to the iArcades as well. Like, if I didn't do what I did, he was the only game in town, and he does a very simple, well-thought-out design. I'm going to say this is probably going to go down that same path. So I'm excited for him on this one. I think it's going to be a good thing.
Yeah, I'm
really,
also
really quick,
very
I just want to say Shotgun Sean is here.
Yeah.
Boom.
Hey, Sean. Good to see you, buddy. But yeah, I'm really excited about this as well because I've got the Attack from Mars Arcade 1-up, just collecting dust. It's only got 10 pinball games on it. It's running 720p. to be able to buy this and sideload any of my Zen pinball games onto there and
Hell
play
yeah.
them in 1080p, I'm all on. I'm all aboard on this. I want to get this as soon as I can. So this is huge. I couldn't believe that this was happening when I heard it because I had pretty much given up on my arcade one-up pinball at this point. So this was huge news, I thought. So now we're doing a giveaway. We're doing a New Wave Toys giveaway. So let me get their website pulled up here so we can see what we're giving away tonight. And I also want to say, too, we're not going to be giving away this product tonight, but it is the Zoltar. And I saw it's on sale throughout the rest of the weekend. So if you guys want to get one, it's $100 right now until the end of the weekend. It's normally $150, and they've got
awesome. By the way, if you guys don't have it, it is awesome.
I have mine. I love it, and for $100, I don't think you can beat it. What you're getting with this, and these fit great into the arcade and fit the whole theme of an arcade very well. Very happy with this product. $100, you can get that through the end of Sunday, I think it is, or maybe Monday. Now, what we're giving away tonight is going to be, first prize will be a USB charge machine. So you can have your choice of the change machine, which is a charger, or the cigarette machine, which is also a charger.
It's tough. That's tough.
Yeah, they're pretty much the same price. So giving you the option, guys. Did one in December, same giveaway as this week. And the winner chose the charge machine. I think the cigarette machine's having trouble selling because people just aren't into cigarettes anymore like they used to be.
No, they're not, but it's still a cool piece. You know, and you could change. There's people already on the forums made different artwork for it. You can make it a candy machine or whatever, but it's a cool looking piece. But the candy machine's good too, so it's a tough call.
Yeah, so that'll be our first prize, $80 value pretty much. Second prize will be the Slurp Video Arcade Cup with Coins Gum Pack. So this is $20 value. Just cool little accessory for your New Wave toys. Get some extra coins, get the gum, and then the little cup to put all the coins in. Kind of cool. And then the third prize will be the UV base pad, which is basically just like blacklit pad that goes under the arcade, just giving it more of that retro arcade feel. You have some of these, Glenn?
I do. I got actually a few of those, and I also got the one from Numbskull. It's a larger pad. And actually, I did make, when I was watching Detroit Love, he made that little arcade. So I built a couple of mine as well. So I did kind of the same thing. With a black light, it looks really nice. Yeah,
I got to get some of those. That's one thing I'm missing is I haven't bought any of those carpets. So I'm going to be giving one of those away tonight for third prize. So we're using a wheel of names tonight. So basically, we're just going to enter everyone's name, and we'll just spin 3 times. The first spin will be third place. The second spin will be second place. And third spin will be first place. So that way we get a winner pretty quick. We'll just enter everybody's name in here. We'll have everyone put in New Wave Toys. It's hashtag New Wave Toys. I'll put it in there so you guys know how to write it out. But just go ahead and start putting in your hashtag New Wave Toys, and I'll add you to the wheel, and we'll spin it, and we'll get our winners. And this is
Gotta
for
be
our
in it
100th
to win
episode.
it. Come on, guys.
This will be for our 100th episode. So I've done 100 chill-in chats, and I wanted to celebrate tonight for that. Also give back to the community, and also support New Wave Toys. They've always been a great company, and I like supporting them. So go check them out if you happen to not win tonight. All right. A-Tran Fanatic is our first one, so I'm going to get him in there. And it may take me a minute to enter all these. So if you want to kind of use this time to fill people in on any more FU discussion, we can fill the time with that. All right. So you were talking there's other potential products coming soon?
Well, I'm working on a number of other products, and the good thing is that since this Kickstarter did so well, I have a little more pull to get some of my projects that they were like, eh. Now they're like, okay. So I'm getting some things greenlit, which has got a good, but they won't be out until probably 26 for these other type of products. Let's get the FU out first, and then we'll worry about the next products.
Yeah, because I was wondering, are you ever going to do because I've heard a lot of people say that the FU being the full size, they just don't have the room for one. And I was expecting if this is successful, you'd probably do like a 3/4 scale version.
Anything is possible. As John used to say, anything is possible.
All right, we got, I'm at the quarter deck right now. And also I caught this week, there's G.I. Joel is doing his... and
they look great.
Yeah, I wanted to hear what you had to say about those.
Yeah, I talked to G.I. Joel a couple of times. I think he's doing a great job. His is 3/4 scale, and they look great. He does good work. If you want to get one of those, you got to be quick. I think he's only doing a batch of 10 of them. But again, he does great work. So I think anyone who picks one of those up will be very happy with it.
Yeah, great to see these new cabinets coming in that aren't like your mainstream, like big business type operations, where it's like coming from the community. I like to see that. And I'm entering in the Rexer show right now. And we'll do a cutoff at 7:15 my time. So if you're going to enter, you've got 3 minutes to enter.
You have good typing skills.
Thanks. Yeah, I also you work in IT, don't you?
I do, since 1989. So
that's
a little time in IT.
I'm more of a software support now, though. Like, I don't do any hardware anymore.
I do it all.
I do miss working with hardware, though. I like the new computers and stuff.
I'm more the hardware side. I like tinkering with the hardware. Software, sometimes I want to blow my brains out. What the hell's going on?
All right. Yes, I'm physically typing 40 names in, but I'm at your chat. Let's see how many more we got. We can't have many more.
And Mo Mutant, thank you. I'm very proud of that screen rotation on there. It just works very smooth. And we've been stress testing it to make sure it's extremely robust. It should last. The motor we're using for that is using an arcade for certain functions in one of those coin dropping mechanisms. So those motors literally run all day, every day, nonstop. So there shouldn't be any issue with that in the gearing. It should be really, really solid. But if something should happen, it is very easy to access and move any one of the parts to fix it. That was also key, just in case something was to happen.
All right. Yeah, when I first saw that 19-inch rotating screen, it looked a little rough, but now it looks great. With that overlay and everything, you can't even see it.
We were experimenting with a lot of different motors, a lot of different ratios, and then the plexiglass, once it goes on there, and it's still going to be even better than this. We're still trying out different plexiglasses with different tints, but you can see right now, you see the screen great, and here goes that screen. 1, 2, 3, and there it goes. It's just smooth.
And it doesn't even turn off. It's still going.
It's still on, yeah. Stays on the whole time.
Yeah, that's awesome. This is something new and unique that we haven't seen before, and I think that's really going to drive sales on this. It's just something different.
That's what I like about it. I know a lot of people really want the biggest screen possible, but sometimes, as I tell my girlfriend, bigger is not always better. You got to take what works, what does the job and does it well.
All right, so I got Mikey Yoon, and the cutoff was this time right now. Of course, the stream is a couple of minutes. They're not hearing us for like a couple more minutes after what we say. So I'll give it a couple more minutes, see if any more New Wave toys come through. But if they don't, let me bring up the everybody's name so you guys can let me know if you're not seeing your name in here. Be sure to let me know. Starting with Atran Fanatic, all the way down to Mickey Yoon. Let me know if you do not see your name. This is your opportunity. I think I got everybody, though. And we'll give it a couple more minutes. Now, one other thing I need to let everyone know, too, is that we are going to be going, the winners are going to go to athomearcades.com. I'll put the link in the chat here. So you can go to my website, and I'll bring it up here on the screen. Let's see. Maybe I just need to put... I don't want to lose the names, though. Dang it. Let's see. How do I do this? Because I've already entered the names, and I don't want to go to a different website. I'm just going to have to put the link in. I'm not going to be able to actually give you guys a visual, but here is the link. You're going to go to that contact form. You're going to give me your name, your email, make the subject just giveaway, and then I need your address, your physical address. So I'll put in the chat name, email, subject, giveaway. And then for the message, you're going to give me your physical address. Where you want it shipped. All right, Garage Gamer's here. He was our guest last week. Good to see Garage Gamer. All right, so we're going to go ahead and spin and get this going. So the first spin will be third place. You're going to win the UV pad, which will basically be in this image here. You'll win the UV base pad, $13 value. Good luck, guys.
Boom. Round and round she goes. Where she stops, nobody knows.
Ojib. Yep, Ojib, congratulations. Nice. So you won the UV base pad. Hopefully you've got some of these micro miniature scale arcades that you can set this under. But it'll give it a better look, especially if you get a black light. All right, so Ojib will be our third place winner. I'll put it in the chat just for transparency. We don't want any Ashleys tonight. All right. Second place.
Round she goes.
This will be the Slurp Cup. Mickey Yoon, it looks like.
Mickey Yoon!
Nice. Mickey Yoon won the Slurp Cup. So Mickey Yoon, second. Or Mikey. I need to be calling him Mikey. I always say Mickey. There you go. Second place. All right, so this is a big one. Those two were small prizes. This one's actually got some value.
There's no small prizes. They're all great prizes.
I love the, I got the Artimat, and I love, like, I didn't get the Artimat till recently, like this year. And I love how it charges all the machines. Also like the lighting in it. You have a couple different lights you can change it in, different color. But it's cool. I love it. These, I wish I wouldn't have waited so long to get one. So if you guys, they're out of the Artimat, but they still have the cigarette machine, which is basically the same thing.
Right.
And if you're not a fan of the cigarette logo and all that, they have other inserts. They have like a New Wave Toys insert you can put in there, and you can change out the whatever you want to put in it. Like I see people do candy bars, whatever you want.
You can put a GRS logo right in there. An idea.
So good luck, guys. This will be for the first prize, the New Wave Toys charge machine, $80 value. Good luck.
Oh, shit. No way.
Brooklyn? Brooklyn?
Oh, look at that.
Awesome. Good to see Brooklyn win. Brooklyn seems to win a lot of these giveaways. I'm always seeing him win.
And he's got some mental powers, man. He's like doing the focus.
All right. Charge machine, and it's your choice of either the cigarette, or the change machine. Cool. Well, that was fun. And those are our 3 winners. It looks like Moat's made it. Good to see Moat in the chat. Wowzers. And we're going to end the stream so we can get over to Rexer's show. I don't have a direct over to him. Like, you guys will have to go search his channel, The Rexer Show. But he's following up this show tonight. Go check him out. And anything you want to leave us with tonight, Glenn, as far as what's going on with the FU or anything with the channel?
Nope. I'm going to end it with congratulations to Biggie D on a 100th episode tonight. It's a big milestone, and I think that's how we should leave it tonight. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to the winners tonight.
Yes.
And everyone that was participating in your night tonight, Biggie D. Congrats.
Yeah, this was awesome. I really appreciate you joining me, and last minute even. I just brought this to you a day or two ago, and you were all about coming on, so I really appreciate it. And I love your products. I love your show. I'll be tuned in, following all this stuff as these next few months play out, and can't wait to be a part of it.
Well, I never forget the first day we met, and you're still the same person now as you were then. So I'm just happy to be on your show and congratulate you.
Yeah, and you're awesome on camera, but I think you're even better in person. Like when I met you in Cleveland, like you have so much energy. You're so nice. You're so happy. And I just think you get more of that in person than you do through the camera.
It was the lobotomy I got. It helps.
So awesome. Well, guys, have a great rest of your weekend. And I look forward to seeing everyone next weekend for Chill and Chat 101. And I'll talk to everyone in the next one. See you later. Bye-bye.